Oh yeah, today we making a jerk, short rib melt, or you can say grilled cheese, whatever. Either way, this is gonna be in regular rotation. I can promise you that. Super easy with this recipe, and all you're gonna need is a pressure cooker and the ingredients I'm about to show y'all. Oh, what? Let's go.
I do my thing in the kitchen. My name is Cord, I'm for the culture, and I'm here with a vision. We here to talk, chop it up. They say the odds are stacked against us. We ain't seen that bet. And the things we do in kitchens, y'all ain't seen that shit. Yes, Lord, let me talk. Listen, man, we here for a good time, not a long time. Matter of fact, we here for a great time. You know, Turned Into Kitchen Culture Podcast.
All right, so before we get started with the recipe, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me if you ain't already subscribed, and share this video with just like 2 people, 3 people, 5 people, with whoever you think might need it. Yo, auntie that thinks she could cook that was, 3 new people, random people, at least 5 people. I know you know 5 people, whether they can or can't cook, whatever the case is, share the video with 5 people. Just share the link, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's go ahead and get started though. All right, y'all, so let's go ahead and give y'all a quick rundown of everything you're gonna need to make this possible, all right? So first things first, with a short rib grilled cheese, you're gonna need some short ribs. These are beef short ribs. I have about 4 of them, right? This will make a good amount of sandwiches. Also, we're gonna be using some red onions. You can get diced, or you can go ahead and slice them up and keep them as rings. Either way, it's some red onion. We have a little bit of flour back here. Then for the seasoning with your ribs, okay? We got some Kinder's Buttery Garlic and Herb seasoning, minced onion. We got some paprika back here. You can use regular or smoked, it really don't too much matter. All right, we got some Walkerswood Jerk, some hoochie sauce. If anybody know how to say that, drop it in the comments with the pronunciation. All right, I've been saying hoochie sauce for the longest, but all right, also we're gonna use some garlic paste. The ginger paste that I have here in this mason jar is optional, but it does add a nice flavor to go along with the jerk. Then also we're gonna use some mayonnaise. I guess I call myself trying to cut calories a little bit. We did some light mayo. We got Boursin Garlic and Herb cheese, beef broth, all right, a little bit of provolone cheese for when we actually make the sandwich and everything. So we got provolone cheese, sourdough bread, and also we're gonna use some Mike's Hot Honey and liquid smoke. All right, so that's everything you're gonna need. So let's go ahead and get started though. All right, so we got our short ribs into a bowl. What we're gonna do is first get a little olive oil on them. So we get our minced onion. Okay. All right, so just put a little bit of that on there. I'll add in our Kinder's Buttery Garlic and Herb seasoning. So this is the seasoning that's gonna have a little bit of salt content. All right, so do that to your taste level, but start with about 1.5 teaspoons. I'll add in some Walkerswood Jerk seasoning. Be very mindful of the one that you get, because they have a mild one and they have a hot one. The hot one is very much what it says. It's hot as hell, so be mindful of that. Even with this mild, you'll get a lot of flavor, and it's gonna be the right amount of heat. Go ahead, drop in a little bit. With the mild, just because we're gonna add the beef broth and everything, I'm gonna go with 2 teaspoons, all right? Healthy size teaspoons. And we're gonna add in some paprika. This is regular paprika in this case. You can do smoked if you want to, that's fine. So go ahead and get your hands a little dirty. All right, so by the time we get through mixing this, the seasoning should be all over the front and the back, on the sides, in every little nook and cranny. If it don't look like this, you really need to season it some more. So, all right, we got that situated. If you really want to deepen the flavor on this, set this in the fridge to marinate for about at least 5 hours, all right? Otherwise, just go ahead straight to cooking, you'll still be fine. All right, so we got a skillet preheated to about medium high heat. Just depending on if you're using electric or gas. So we added in a little bit of vegetable oil. Again, you can use vegetable or you can use avocado. Totally up to you on that. Avocado. Since you see that smoke coming up, it's ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and place these short ribs in. All right, so here what we're gonna do is just get to brown these short ribs. They not gonna cook all the way through right here. So we're gonna cook them for about 3 minutes each side. That's all we're gonna need. Make sure you get the sides, bottom, and everything like that. Then we're gonna move those to another bowl while we work on our base. So this is what our short ribs is gonna look like after we done seared it, okay? So again, it's not gonna be done at this point. Really what we did with this is just locking in those flavors that we built when we seasoned everything, all right? So again, then you're gonna transfer this into a bowl and you're gonna be all good to go. All right, so in the same skillet, what we're gonna do is put our red onions on in. So with our skillet, you don't wanna wash this out too much. You just wanna wipe out a little bit of the charred pieces if you had any. And we're gonna saute these onions for a little bit because we have flavor that was left over in the pan, all right? So once this goes for about 2 minutes, we'll go ahead and add our garlic paste on in. And about a teaspoon of some ginger paste. All right. Okay, first of all, it already smells good as hell up in here. All right, get that incorporated with your onions real good. And we still on like a medium low temp right now. And before we add our beef broth, the last thing we're gonna do, we're gonna add just a little bit of flour. What this is gonna do is thicken up our gravy, essentially. So you don't want to do so much that it becomes like a roux. Roux is just where you add equal parts flour and like fat, whether it's oil or butter. But you do want to thicken up the liquid so it's not brothy or watery. All right, come through with that beef broth. All right, so for good measure, do at least 2 cups, all right? And here all we're gonna do is bring this to a boil and re-season this because of course we seasoned our ribs, but some of that flavor is gonna get lost in translation. So, all right, so re-season with your kinders. And when I tell you, you're gonna need to use just a little bit more than you think. And I promise you it's not gonna end up salty because the beef broth is reduced sodium. All right, so we got our jerk. What we're gonna do is just add just another teaspoon of this. So if you're a little bit hesitant when it comes to spice, save this for the back end. So again, we're gonna go ahead and bring everything together just like so, all right? And once this starts to come to a little bit of a boil, we're gonna reduce that temperature on down and then we'll transfer everything into our pressure cooker. So I'm gonna be using a pressure cooker for this because time is valuable, time is money, and I'm not gonna be waiting 3 hours for these short ribs, right? But what you can do is, with the pressure cooker, we're gonna go ahead and just drop these on in, and then your gravy, drop that in on top. So all you gotta do at this point, right? With your Instant Pot, you're gonna go ahead and lock your lid and cook it on a high temperature. It'll go for an hour and it's gonna be fall off the bone tender. So I'll see y'all in a bit. Short ribs are done. It's been about an hour. If you wanna go a little bit longer to have it even be more tender, cool. So what you wanna do is just turn this to vent and, all right, let that pressure release before you try to open this lid. If you don't, you'll wish you listened. Let's go ahead and crack this thing on open now that the pressure done released. Yeah. And you just pick this up. Look at how that falls apart though. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, look at, okay. So I'm trying not to twirl too much because look, this thing finna fall apart. But that's how we like it. That's how we want it. All right, so get your mayo. You can get Dukes, you can get whatever. Just get you some mayonnaise, right? Not to be confused with Miracle Whip. All right, so go ahead and get you about a good 4 teaspoons. All right, a little bit of liquid smoke. And for the type of liquid smoke, it's gonna be hickory liquid smoke. All right, get you a few dashes of that. How you pronounce that? All right. That's gonna give us a little tang, you know, to go with this. So you get you some Mike's hot honey, or you can get the generic hot honey at your store, whatever, but some spicy honey, or regular honey if you don't like it too spicy, right? Just a little bit. You don't want it to be too sweet. It's just to kind of give like a savory and sweet kind of juxtaposition. All right, and some garlic paste. All right, and that's how your all right, so that's how your mayo should look right there. First things first, we got our Boursin Garlic Herb cheese. Cheat code with this. It's woo. So with this, is gonna give your cheese like it gives a nice little creamy texture, if you will. With the little bits of garlic in there, it just works out perfectly. So this kind of goes on similar to a butter spread, but so you're gonna get this on both pieces of bread, and get your mayo. Now we're gonna go ahead and take some of that short rib. Then you go get you a slice of some provolone cheese. And then just add you a little bit more. All right, add that cheese on top of there. We'll go ahead and fold this over like so. Really that simple. Set that sandwich on in, and what you wanna do to really reinforce this is press down on it real good. Press down on it. Oof. That's gonna get that cheese to melt a little bit faster for you. So, okay. So we're gonna cook this probably about 2 to 3 minutes on the first side. Flip it, and then we're gonna cover this with the lid. All right. First side is done. Flip that thing. Look at that mother. Boy, I almost cussed. Look at that doggone crust. All right. Oh, what? It's that first bite when you get the creaminess from that. Let's go. Okay, off the dome with it. All right. So before we get started, y'all, all right, we try it again. See, I said I don't like that. And then comment fraud. Shit. First time ever seeing me, go ahead and hit. You know what I'm saying? People that. Ah! I almost had it. Fuck. All right.
People that love.
Nah, that's too politically correct. People that love food and share a passion for great Southern soulful. No.
Yes, Lord, let me talk. You tuned into the Chef Core in the kitchen. We here for a good time, not a long time. Matter of fact, we here for a great time. Yes, Lord, let me talk.